So,
When they talk about things happen for a reason,
well, whatever.
well, when you think about
And
that.
my mother, I gotta say this for Irene, excuse me, son, I hear you, and that's true, probably. I hope I've done something constructive besides, and not besides, but in addition to my views for beautiful descendants. My mother, remember, I was the only child, came down to Jacksonville on a train to be there to find out what was going on with her son.
Right.
And at that time, the family was involved deeply with Dr. Alex Marcus, who is the...
Who lived where Nancy is.
Yeah, who lived
Right.
House.
in Fairfax.
Yeah. Weird. Isn't that
Isn't that
bizarre?
weird?
My mother was married to Alvin Podall at that time, and Podall's sister was Rhea Marcus, and Rhea Marcus' husband was Alex. And Alex Marcus, Dr. Marcus, calls us, calls the surgery unit down there. And the doctor, I remember his name, Dr. Barton from the East and son, and they really took care of me the best they could. I was there a long time, and they sent me then to a, what do you call it?
A rehab hospital?
Rehab in Daytona Beach, which was kind of neat. And the people who were there, the soldiers who were there, had come from battle. So here am I, not in battle, but... and I was there quite a while. And then I was shipped back to Camp Landing. And I was, this is interesting because I remember this, I'm skipping around, but I was standing on a platform of a train station, you can think of Dr. Zhivago, whatever you want, supposedly on the way to Alaska. As an assignment. And they pulled me off the line. To this day, I don't know why. I have no idea why. And I didn't go to Alaska, and I went back to Camp Landing, and then they shipped me out to the Air Force Base in Wichita Falls, Texas, which then was training soldiers with helicopters. And those helicopters, not like what you see in the movies here, they were big monsters. And I was there a long time, Wichita Falls. Then they sent me to San Antonio, Texas, at Randolph Field. I'm just going quickly through my military career. And the amusing part is, Ruth has been told by her friends that I could get, maybe Benjamin could confirm this, pharmaceutical products by virtue of being a veteran at very little cost. And maybe...
Get what?
Get his drugs through the VA.
Not drugs.
Meds.
Medicines.
Meds.
The hash and
Medications through the VA.
Medication.
and
So when I called, they said, do this already, Marvin. So I called this big, if you ever saw 4th of July with Tom Cruise, the movie, it's a veterans hospital. It's a big VA hospital, big one at Bay Pines, near where we live. And they said, sure,
Wait, did we just
soldier.
flip into
I don't know
now?
what we're doing. We're sorry.
I got lost. Did we leave Texas?
No, he's still talking about his experience in the service.
I'm jumping my experience in Texas and bringing me up and down. And I was talking about what I haven't got to talk about. They said, do you have your discharge papers? And I still have a little thing. I still have my Army serial number, 153-99620. My prior number at Belfair was 79, and my number as an old man is
Your social security number?
276-202113. Go, Susan, what do you want to ask?
My question was, I was still in like Wichita, something over in Texas, and then...
When did you end up getting discharged from the Army?
And how?
That's when I was flying around.
Yeah.
Flying around. I got discharged, it was like June of 1946.
So, and when did you go in?
Honorable discharge. When did I go in?
April of 1944. You've been out of the room.
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
I
You
was
wanna
just
go back?
asking a question.
Well, I'll go
Can't.
back.
I guess not.
When you got through with having your, when your leg healed, when you went back to Jacksonville, was any of your group that you trained with there?
No. Let me go back to the group.
Hmm.
My two sergeants, Phillips and Richardson, whose names are in my brain, were highly educated men. The Army could have anybody, but these guys were both college graduates. Great soldiers, and when the von Rundstedt's breakthrough came, which my guys would have been in,
His unit.
Richardson and Phillips were killed right off the bat. I can't think of greater soldiers. So that shows you what the war was like.
His whole unit was wiped.
Well, our unit wasn't a unit per se. They were replacement troops thrown in as cannon fodder, Ruth. When the regular line was knocked off, they put these replacement soldiers in, 18, 38 years old.
Europe or the Far East?
Into Europe. Von Rundstedt was a breakthrough that happened in Europe. After D-Day, the German line tried to advance against the American forces, and one of the most brutal battles was a Battle of the Bulge, followed up by von Rundstedt's breakthrough. He broke through the American lines, and so many soldiers were killed. Where were we?
We were getting to your Army discharge.
I was discharged from Fort Sam, I was at Randolph Field, but discharged from an Army base, Fort Sam Houston. And they said that I could get $11 refund if I applied. I wanted to get out of the Army so fast I dropped everything. They raised me to corporal. They said, I was a private. They said you can be on the reserve forces. I said, I didn't say this. You got to be kidding, guys. I couldn't wait to get out of there. I dropped my entire military relationship, got on a train, went to St. Louis on a train standing up because all of us loaded with soldiers. Went from St. Louis to Cleveland standing up to the terminal, took off my uniform, and that was the end of my Army career. And that, the wonderful part of, however, the good, that's the dramatic part, was Marvin, who had a $10 war bond. That's all I had, economically. Started college with a GI Bill. I couldn't get into Case Western Reserve at that moment because my grades were questionable for Ohio University. But I went to Cleveland College and got A's
when were we at OU?
He went to OU for 3 months. You're out of the room.
got A's in everything, and they then admitted me on probation to Adelbert College, and I was getting on the GI Bill, and I became an academic star. I had A's in everything except child psychology and geography.
Where did you live when you were at school?
When I was at school,
Okay.
I'm trying to think. Lived at wait a minute, in undergraduate school. Oh, undergraduate school, I was with my mother and my stepfather on Superior until the time that I married Lori, at which I went into law school in absentia, it's called, meaning you were admitted into the professional school with a certain grade average if, you had to have at least a B, whatever it was, if you had this scholastic background. You could then go to professional school. Gene Veda did it too. Gene went to medical school having not finished college as such, and we both got our bachelor's degree of law, a bachelor's degree, what is it, BA degree, while we finished our first year of professional school. From my mother's abode, I married Lori.
Now, let's take us a step back. When did you meet Lori?
I met Lori when and she too were 16 years old, we were both 16, in Heights High School. Ruth's aware of a lot of this. And she had come from Chicago, and I was an AZA fraternity member.
In high school?
In high school.
Now, what's AZA?
It's kind of like a Jewish equivalent of some WASP fraternities.
Okay. But in high school? Okay.
In high school, and we went on a hayride